Hello everyone, welcome back to another Zitric Minecraft video, where today we are going to be continuing our 6B6T adventure. In today's video, we are going to be duping on the banned Anarchy server. I hope you guys are excited because essentially there's a special event currently ongoing in 6B6T where a milestone was reached in the 6B6T shop, and it basically allows for us to dupe shulkers by using several different methods. For this specific, event though, I'm going to be using the piston dupe, which I've already made a video, going over how to use it. It's a very scalable and effective method that, I personally recommend, but, today what we're going to be doing is stocking up this end stash here. Obviously, I'm not going to, be revealing this location, but as I'm sure you can imagine, it is a very secluded and safe area. Now, as you can see, I've already been making some decent progress, duping a couple hundred shulkers. A lot of them are PvP kits. I have some obsidian here as well. We have a lot of stuff going on, right? I even have some totems, some totem shulkers, just a bunch of stuff, right? And, so basically what I'm going to be doing is filling up every 6 chests with a different type of shulker. So as you can see, we have the blue one here. Then we have the black for obsidian. Then we have another PvP kit, and then for this area, I'm probably going to fill it up with this shulker right here. Hold up. Let me go to my ender chest. Obviously I pre-packed these shulkers. This one, which is full of gapples, right? We're going to be doing a lot of duping. What I'm going to be doing is, just duping like so. Now, one thing I will say about 6B6T that I think makes it stand out, when it comes to other Anarchy servers, is that it actually allows for you to teleport, to different places. So, if I were to go to slash home, I could go to various different locations. I could go to my main base, which is the deep house home. This is my end stash location. I even have another base, which is currently under construction. you know, but I think because I've been doing a lot of duping, like already, like as you can see, I think I'm gonna run actually back to my base and give you guys a tour. So I think with that, let's head home. So slash home, deep. So all we have to do now is wait 15 seconds, and we will teleport to my base. Now, as you guys can see, we are now back in my base. It's a very, very convenient, feature that I really like. And so right down here, as you can see, we have the signs which I put, to kind of just, designate that this is in fact my base. We have the founded in 8-4, about, 2 weeks ago was when I founded this base. I've given it the name Deep Slate Depths because, I think it's a really cool name. Deep down lies the base. GG's if you found me. We just have a little name in case any base finders ever find me. As you guys can see here, we have a couple chests. These are currently not full, but I'm going to be filling them up later with, a bunch of stuff. Here is another, storage location area. This I have actually been filling up a lot with a lot of, different types of shulkers and stuff. The end stash, I will be honest, it's more kind of supposed to be like a backup, for a lot of my gear and stuff. Because you guys should have seen it, like, there are currently 965 players online, right? Like, I think, before the event, it was probably around, let me think, maybe 300, 400 players, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, in the next part of my base, guys, we have this little farm area. I mostly use this, early on to get access to food. We have some carrots, some radishes, some delicious, delicious wheat for some bread. We have a very simple, thing going, we'll say. Now, to the next part of the base, I have this little hallway area that, I feel like I did a good job, decorating this whole area, with a deep slate. Basically, though, if I simply swim up this water column, I unfortunately did not, have the soul sand to make it, into a thing. But basically, what I have here is a zombie spawner, that I could basically use for experience, to repair some of my tools. I use this very early on. I don't really have a use for it now, but it's a very useful thing that that I was able to get access to, in case if I ever wanted to like, make some new diamond armor or anything. And I even have some anvils, obviously. And here I'm gonna hold up. And I'm gonna turn off, like my kill aura. But as you can see here, oh, that's my bad, guys. Kind of messed up here. Hold up. All right. But as you see here, oh no, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Now, as I'm sure you can tell, we just have. Oh my gosh. Just cut this part. Just cut this part. All right. So now, as I'm sure you can tell, this is a little zombie spawner area here. I'll go into camera view. As you can see right up here, we just set it up to where the zombies will get collected by water. They'll fall down into the little hole, and here's where I will kill them. As you can see, I can tell I currently have the kill aura hacked client feature on, so that's why I'm able to like auto automatically hit them. But yeah, so that is how my zombie spawner is situated. It's a pretty cool little feature of my base. Uh, I have a lot planned. You know what I mean when it comes to this base. So for now, it might not be much, but I do plan on expanding it and making it look a lot better and more fleshed out. Well, I guess a zombie somehow got in my base. But anyway, so with that, guys, I would think that concludes my main base tour. What I'm probably gonna be doing, mostly is a lot of duping. Trying to make sure that my base stays secure and safe because that's the biggest thing you have to worry about on an Anarchy server like 6v6t. With so many players online, you really do have to be careful because there are base hunters and players that will try everything in their power to find your base. Luckily, with the teleportation feature, which involves the netherite blocks, if you're curious, that's why it's in my ground. The main problem is just keeping it safe from griefers or base hunters. So if you guys enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe. I hope to see you guys in another video, and thank you so much for watching. Zitrick